All right, beautiful people of planet Earth, here we go again. I'm still playing catch up because of the technology issues of the past week, and I decided I've got another reading in me, even though I'm tired. I've had a good feed of pizza. Probably could do with a nice cup of tea now. I might get us a drink in a minute, but I'm going to continue with my readings. Time is of the essence. That's my gut feeling. I might not have much time to do these at a later stage if if my health declines even further, or on a positive upswing if I'm busy with a new romance, right? So while I'm sitting here alone in isolation, pondering my not quite manifested future, either way, good or bad or indifferent, I might as well make good use of my time and record my writings and my legacy on YouTube and Vocal Media and Facebook. For those few rare and precious souls that derive some kind of comfort or cognizance or pleasure from it, I guess. Not that all of my stuff is pleasurable, a lot of it's trauma processing, but for those who've walked in my moccasins, it might be of assistance to you. And I have 58 and 7 months years of wisdom garnered on the coalface, so I feel honour bound to share it with the world. Tikkun olam, people. When you heal one person, you heal the entire world, or words to that effect. So it is now 7:37 p.m. of the 14th of November, and we are reading 10th of November 2023, which must have been Melbourne Cup Day on that day. And I don't support Melbourne Cup because I don't like horses being tortured and whipped to death and then put to sleep when they lose races. It's an ugly industry I will not support. But there you have it. It's an acknowledgement that the Melbourne Cup is a big event in our Australian life and our culture, and it does happen, and there we have it. So, 10th of November 2023. The most astonishing thing has happened. I am carefully guarding my heart and trying to maintain equanimity, equilibrium, and grace. I dare not get my hopes up. But the enthusiastic attentions that seem to be consistent and heartfelt seem to point to the possibility of an entire new horizon for me. Oh, darling. Oh, Tanya, you're such a premature ejaculator, aren't you, darling? I mean, you have to laugh. I get so excited when someone, showers me with attention that I think that it's real, I do have a tendency to do that. Well, I've been alone for many years. I guess it's only, it's not normal, but it's a side effect of, years of struggle on my own. But I don't feel sorry for myself because I have a good life here. Really, I do. Making my videos for YouTube, driving you all mad. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm probably hypomanic because there's not been much sleeping because my nervous system got activated, but it's all good. So I digress. As usual, as my wise and beautiful Lynn reminded me yesterday, veritably at my infamous 11th hour, when I was literally and figuratively beating back my old dancing partner, Death, and had almost given up any hope of a truly loving man arriving, in brackets, arising in my life, Me on my ragged, jagged, cyanotic-lipped breaths actually met up with him on neutral territory yesterday, because I believe that seeing is believing, and I did not wish to pursue an unrealistic internet friendship or potential romance. But now we have met in real world. Oh my, but I am charmed, a little too charmed. I must remain sanguine and not lose my heart and head at this early phase. Or not. Perhaps it's time I completely loosened my tightly bound, self-imposed restrictions I myself put in place as I have experienced one too many evil, awful sadists, and that cruelty had festered for so long, so long. Maybe it's time I fully activated my heart chakra and let someone love me fully and vibrantly and passionately, but this time truly, so my dream of love finally manifests before I finish with this incarnation completely. Maybe this time it will be the one who chooses me by heart, mind, body, spirit, and soul, and who will be king to my queen, an equal and a kind and noble love partnership. My anxiety based on excited soul innovation is without bounds today. And I don't usually allow that level of activation in my body, but my spirit knows I have been treated courteously, honourably, and respectfully this time, with deep regard. So this is something I have never experienced with any potential love interest before. So I will be enjoying the next few weeks or months as I carefully unfurl the potentialities and witness a real love relationship manifest. If it is meant to be, then it is already creating itself in real time in this 3D reality. That was 4 days ago, people. 4 fucking days ago that I wrote that. So, always hopeful I am. Always positive, always optimistic. Always the psychedelic dreamer. And here's my baby that switched us off earlier today because she could. It's funny how she pressed on the little red square where the video button is. It's like she knows that it turns us off, right? She's very intelligent, very cheeky. She heard me talking about it. Did you hear that little... She's listening in. Go to sleep, Charlie. I'll just cough up a lung, don't mind me. Here's a lovely photo of my Hippeastrum in bloom. (11:11 a.m. My angels are rejoicing with me as I sit in the garden in the shade. I am feeling creative and innovated even though my sciatica hurts. I feel like a lid is being lifted off a boiling pot. This must be a year ago because I don't have sciatica today. Oh, yeah, it is. This is 2022. It confused me for a bit. I was like, wait a minute. For once I don't have sciatica. I feel like a lid is being lifted off a boiling pot, releasing steam and pressure and tension, but the abundance is not quite cooked yet. Patience is a virtue that I have always had a serious lack in. Virtuosity. When I set my mind to something, even something not necessarily good for me, I can be blindsided or dumb as a doornail. I throw myself at the thing like a berserker and need to tamp down my fire and fury and enthusiasm, as there are many steps to undertake before I subsume the undertaker and the mastery. But I have lived through death cults before, and my sweetest beloved that holds my hand across eons is as stubborn a wench as I am. Santa Muerte vomits me back to life, l'chaim, and refuses to let me dance in my red shoes to the end of my choosing. ¿Por qué? Why? 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 For the capricious, mischievous delight of the gods. Aphrodite, Venus, Shakti. Sometimes on a bad day, Kali. Shekhinah. Do you know what you are doing with me? Can I trust in your most benevolent, most ardent, most soul-nourishing and body-edifying love? Mais oui, bien sûr. Have we not led this dance for the last 57.5 years, dipped you and raised you from every abysmal climactic defeat? Toujours l'amour. Hold on, Tanya. The best is yet to come. The Tanya folds her arms and stamps her feet, winces and grimaces and rolls her eyes. Don't believe us? You will see. We will show you the glory, the peace, the truest, deepest loves, and the abundance. And I reply, sigh, sighs. And they reply, sings, there will be miracles when you believe. And I reply, whatever. I am striving for the unattainable, the untenable, with a late middle-aged, broken-down body and kintsugi'd heart. There is only so much duct tape in the known universe. Clonk on my fat Slavic Jewish Kopf. Here, Tanya, another roll of duct tape. Years ago, we, the spirits, told you we could rebuild you. You did not believe it, but got busy living your best life anyway, as a protest, a defiance, a stance, a motif, a segue, a humour that was not a tumour with your tumescent, scarified, skin-cancered body. How you fought other humans, the gods, your own mortality. We are so fucking proud of you. Emphasis on the fucking. Your life force supersedes your physical, financial, and familial limitations. You are made of titanium, of etheric diamonds, rubies and sapphires amidst the sephirot, of plutonium, of guts and grit and glory. Even your dead lover had to come to you to tell you of his passing. Could not let go with grace and ease without that long goodbye. The last man you gifted heart and soul to, quivering in his jocks in ardent awe of you. We, the gods, built you this way, not for any mortal man, not for any vicious little snivelling, strangling trickster cur. We kept you alone for a reason. Sanguinity, gnosis, safety, and for the triumphant return of the king to his queen, you, little one. Never forget the miracles that we unfurl for you like 1,000-petaled lotus because of your mana, your fight for truth, for life, for love that supersedes human lusts, desires, and frailties. I am so tired, my angels, my fae, my holy ones, my ancestors that love me. We know, but we gifted you longer life to watch you create from the smoke, ashes, and bare bones of the last one. We believe in you, Tanya. You have the power within you to have all your dreams manifest. But we are still spoon-feeding you, still guiding you, still protecting you as you prepare to fly. A fledgling no more, a phoenix and an eagle. Sometimes a fire-breathing dragon. Oh, how we love it when you express that archetype, because so few have the gumption, the decency, the audacity, the chutzpah to speak up against the machinations of the dark Sith. Only you, who faced her own death many, many times, have the qualifications to achieve that. A backhanded gift from Mama Muerte and Papa Legba and Hades. Odin too. Beloved one. Is it a dog crying or is it someone screaming? I think it's a dog. Beloved one, you've been feeling like you were punching above your weight in an apocalypse, too little, too late. But don't you know? It's just the beginning of a new paradigm, and we have set a place for you in sacred space, in the upper worlds and in the lower worlds, where you will be treated with kindness and honour, and where you will belong. Okay. I await that time in the eternal now with trepidation. Be gentle with me, O holy ones. You know my limitations are feckless and traumatic. And they replied, last night my sciatica nerve on my right hip went ouch. So there was lots of hobbit hobbling to the loo 5 times and agony. Is there nothing that Tanya's short, fat little corpus won't do without her travelling Maximus Glutamus to avoid a successful business enterprise? On Sunday, I have 3 days to get my ass into gear or release the pain in the sciatica and strut my stuff. Will I do it? Yes. Mind over matter, head over tilt. Love is the law. I will be walking a bit funny, like a lumberjack that fell out of a 40-foot tree, or Jula that sat too long hunched on her desk chair. But Jesus, oh well, at least I tried. 10th of November 2021. QE2 Hospital got me in the end on 26th of July 2021. It took me over 2 months to recover, and they informed me I have to repeat it in a year's time because of the polyp growing. As far as I know, all 4 polyps were benign. So really, what the fuck? The fight at the reception because of the draconian COVID frenzy and the extremely rude, inept reception staff at the endoscopy unit, which triggered me, was a disgusting display of Queensland Government health evil bullshit. They called security on me, and I stated that I was there for a colonoscopy, not their intense acopic othering. I simply did not sign up for this bullshit. Their security guard was decent. I was already weakened and activated by the awful prepping the night before, so like a compliant fool, I went along with the procedure. But I honestly think it was far too much to deal with, especially only 2 weeks after losing my last cat and those evil, greedy, abusive, covidiotic vets. The mutant virus I mentioned back in 2010, the prescience of the psychedelic dreamer. But it's not boring at all. In fact, there is no sex anyway, because I have been unable to find a safe, stable, loving, authentic partner, and the world has gone quite insanely evil and draconian with its latest disease du jour. As I am unvaccinated, I am being further marginalised by the state and now denied access to ordinary social outlets for my previous weekly habit of dancing. But I refuse to spend my money and energy on the new regime that is more toxic than COVID anyway. My body, my choice, my last vestiges of freedom, my way. 10:12 p.m. My house is full of varnish and paint fumes. I had to move Charlie's cage into the spare bedroom. The desk has had 2 coats of varnish, and the IKEA filing cabinet I painted a year ago has had 1 coat of varnish. The little stationery box thingy has had 3 coats of yellow paint. I will need to varnish it later or tomorrow. I am exhausted but enervated. I had a lovely call from my daughter Crystal today, which lifted my spirits. She was worried about me, as she knew I would be enraged about the Nazi draconian measures inflicted on the unvaccinated. She agreed with me that it's beyond insane and completely atrocious. She has always been very pro-vaccine, but she felt this was going too far now. Like, hello? Finally, she sees the light and exactly what I have been fighting for 2 years now. I felt so relieved and happy to have her moral support. She implored me to go get a medical exemption. I told her I am eligible for one, but I am informed that they are hard to get, and I am aligning with all non-COVID vaccine people as a conscientious objection as much as it would be risk-taking to have one. So I refuse to get an exemption, as integrity is everything. I will just have to hold the line and stay home along with anyone else with high moral integrity to stand by their convictions. But it was so wonderful to know that my distress, fury, and outrage was validated by my daughter. The war on the COVID propaganda, gaslighting, coercive control continues. And here I write, Dear countrymen and women, for your latest deprogramming from Queensland State Government-run Mitchell Gus, may I recommend you all read Joseph Heller's Catch 22. Not even joking, same old, different era, slightly different circumstances, but still a spiritual war against Palace Chooks and whatever puppet master she is currently dancing on the tippy toes of. Masks off. Unvaccinated to be segregated in our own homes as they are too cowardly to open actual gulags or concentration camps and hope we will all suicide instead. Cheaper for the government. But like frogs in the boiling water, they turned up the heat a little too fast, and there are many who are waking from their somnolent, docile, complicit, soporific, horrific, stupefied states. Welcome to the party of consciousness. Wakey, wakey, brothers and sisters. Let love be our only law and survival of the fully decent among us. At Lynn Sloan. Last night I put out a prayer for cleansing, purification and releasing of all toxic people and to cast the dirty, filthy, toxic energies out for Danny, as promised. I ask that in the void of the releasing of that heavy, sadistic, evil energy, that she be filled with bliss, peace, true love, in the form of life-enhancing, healthy associations and better health. This morning I saw this wonderful down-to-earth video from my new friend, and I'll redact that name because that one turned out to be a neo-Nazi who told me that Auschwitz was beautiful and good for the Jews, the evil, bloodless dog. Better never darken my doorstep ever again. My God. Show this to Danny. The great work begins. The angels have our back and have heard our prayers. But she can do the simple technique to make a commitment to her releasing of this toxic, evil vermin as well. Tell her that her Auntie Tanya sends her great love and that she is protected. It is already done, and very quickly she will experience sudden shifts in those evil ones' perceptions, attitudes, and modus operandi. So expect the unexpected. It will be startling but humorous to watch. Think the great undoing of Gila of crab-walking vagina infamy on Today Tonight. Another monster that came undone by her own actions. Sometimes in the Tanya's world, I don't have to do a thing but sit back and watch and wait. And that, my friends, is the most perfect alignment manifested by the gods when you don't have to do a thing. Now, why is this not scrolling? Stop that, stupid machine. Be good. It will be oh yes, well, we read that. I have simply asked the angels to return that befouled evil man his own cognition of his own actions and the grief and trauma and karmic rectification of all the people, not just our beautiful Danny, that he and his evil enabling wife have sought to undermine, devalue and destroy their career potentialities and reputations, have sought to vampirize their light. There is a special place in hell for those that prey on vulnerable, disenfranchised, disabled people who are striving to get their careers or merest jobs for their merest survival. The fact they operate as a charity while exploiting and delegitimizing trainees and employees makes it even more heinous. That our government that oversees this charity allows us to continue is just profoundly evil and astonishing. But I have long known how deep the corruption, vilification and systemic abuses go in the highest echelons of our government, education system, health system, and in the courts. It's a seeping putrefaction that was in place long before COVID became our current battleground, with the brainwashing, coercion, and sycophantic, dangerous smugness of people deluded that they are keeping everyone safe, when in fact, even the police refusing to deal with the stalking and threats proves that we cannot rely on our paid government goons for any modicum of safety. Been there, got the t-shirt, and the 25 years of therapy, by the way, and the long years of marginalisation and disablement from the laziness and apathy and evil corruption of Queensland policing and the adult guardian and the court system that vilifies, betrays and financially rapes women who dare to demand justice. COVID is no excuse for this lack of care or dereliction of duty of even the most basic of human rights, but this is a country that rather lets women and their babies burn in vehicles rather than protect and serve the already terrorised. Helen Clark and her babies. Never forget. Never forget this country has betrayed all of us who asked for safety and protection since time immemorial. So now we call upon the Holy One in all their manifestations of the most pure and righteous and healing and purifying holiness. Stop this blight that was never merited but was perpetuated by fear. The fear of another person rising and shining in their own core and demanding justice, rectification, peace, light, and true solid love you can depend on in a crisis that does not waver or faint or dissipate like swamp gas, because its strength and nobility is far more powerful than the fears indoctrinated by the media, social and otherwise, education system and paid government drones and their disgusting shills. So my prayer goes out to Danny, and it reverberates to all those other innocents affected, and it cycles back to me in our circle of great love and peace and self-determination. I call upon the gods of light, holiness, and of infinite creation to shift this timeline back to the potentiality of peace, of justice, and of harmonic resonance, and to cast the fuck out those verminous, trolling imps and demonic influences that have pervaded the souls, hearts, and minds of the asses. To those who willingly ceded their souls for a false prophet and a delusion in collusion with those who willingly destroy the comfort, safety, and ease of billions for a safe trip to Mars, for example. Fuck off and stay the fuck off. We have a responsibility to protect our bodies, our families, and our friends from this insidious scourge of complicit, willful destruction of our bodies, minds, and spirits. Here is the link. It's a small thing, but every little bit helps. And it's a YouTube video, but I don't have the name of it there, just the link. Know that the Tanya has spoken, and love is the law. And those that cannot live by our light and our love with honour, integrity, and righteous dignity, that mock and shame and delegitimize us, that steal our strength, our money, our homes, our right to safety and health choices that are life-enhancing and beneficial. Not draconian poisons cobbled together by greedy, drooling, salacious, cuntish scientists and doctors whose agenda is in plain view for anyone to see if they just observe and question and read and dare courageously to speak out. One body, one spirit, one life, one love. This is not a fucking dress rehearsal. We need to get this last phase of our existence right. Know that you are not alone. You have my support, as I am grateful also for the 3.3 decades of staunch, unwavering support you, Lynn, have gifted me. A true sister of spirit, a violet flame that blessed this violently obstreperous, defiant femme. Your friend, the Tanya, who has lived through worse things than Palaszczuk's evil, perverted government. And this is a comment on a post from 2012, 10th of November. Just witnessed my fourth dawn of the year. It's raining, so the sky had a purplish hue. Nice, but need to sleep now. Another big night tonight. More awesomeness until I drop from exhaustion. Lol. And my comment on 2021 was, when the zombie revivified herself by dancing each weekend, hoping against hope to find a love partner out there. Whatever. But the times are a-changing, my darlings. I'm witnessing men rising up and showing me expressions of sweet agape love, some wishing to show me expressions of romantic love as well. There is a shift in my life for the first time in decades. And so naturally I'm freaking out because it's not something I've experienced before. Not since I was a very young teenage girl when I met my husband, and it's been that long, since I was 17, that I had so much attention, heartfelt, genuine, authentic attentions from, male friends in my music scene and, random strangers popping up here, there at the casino, and it's unusual, and it's been a bit of a mind flip, quite frankly. 10th of November 2020. So I'm just going to add to that because Spirit just said it to me. To everything there is a season, and it's Ecclesiastes. If you know the song and the prayer. Looks like I'm fully seasoned at 58 and a half. So things are starting to finally blossom for me. And I'm astonished, but, delighted by that. It's been a long time coming. 10th of November 2020. I just finished watching The Romanovs on Amazon Prime. Brilliant, surrealist and quirky. It's a year since I was supposed to have a repeat colonoscopy, but I refused as I was still extremely weak from the gallbladder surgery last June. Fuck that shit, literally. I had quite enough of doctors using my body like some kind of experimental playground, including the foul sexual overtures and innuendos. I'm not going to allow them near my bowels or gut again, unless I start bleeding or something. Best advice I can give myself is to stay away from bloody doctors, anaesthetists, and other assorted medical henchmen. The PA hospital was an utter disgrace, but QE2 is no better. Yuck. And that's in response to a comment I wrote on the 10th of November 2009. After today's experiences, I've decided to reincarnate as an amoeba. No bowel problems, no bladder problems, no bleeding, and I'd get to quietly osmose in the corner. Bliss. Or perhaps a mutant virus. Then I could keep my reputation as an official schnorrer and just exist off other life forms, so they have to do all the mammalian purging for me. I'm liking this idea more and more, or perhaps I will be just so much dust. And comment from my friend, my long time ago former friend, been out of touch for some years now, Heather Abramson. Mammalian purging is yuck. Glad it's over. Life as a virus would be boring. No sex. My reply, gosh, how did I manage to forget about the sex part? Must be getting old, lol. 10th of November 2019. This evening I attended the West End Shamanic Circle. It was quite wonderful and amazing, and I'm still processing all the awesome spiritual revelations gifted to me by the Great Spirit, Universal Consciousness, the Holy One. It was interesting sharing space with the other members and being surrounded by so much love, peace, and acceptance. And here we have handsome boy is patiently waiting for the afternoon to cool down so we can have a walk. We went to go about half an hour ago, but I looked at him and said, "It's too hot, Bobo." He nodded with wisdom, but a kind of dogged disappointment. We went back inside and sat on the couch, and he curled up on my thigh instead. He hasn't had a walk for 3 days, but he knows I will keep my promise. And there he is, my beautiful boy, my beautiful, handsome, loving, soul-nourishing boy. Awake in the illusion. I had a nice time last night, but left the casino early as I was rather tired. I saw George on my way to the kebab shop, who said he was happy to see me. He's been in England, and then for the past few weeks I have been in too much pain in my feet to do my usual stomp down to get food and have a chat at the end of my night, which is my usual custom. So we hadn't seen each other for a while now. I caught up with Katrina and we had a good old natter, and at one point we both burst out laughing. And it was just pure love and merriment, and I started coughing as laughing too hard really messes with my lungs now. But we both hacked, hers because of her cigarette and mine because of my crazy old crone laugh and the smoke and dust from the bushfires. And then we had to laugh again, as we are getting old. I felt very much loved and appreciated last night. Even on the dance floor, I sat in my spot and was surrounded by Luke and Len, and we were just quietly happy to be hanging out together. I thought it was lovely, but the music was not innovating me last night, so it was time to rattle my old bones and head back home. My feet hurt so much I had to take my shoes off in the lobby near the lifts. It was agonizing. I think the time will come in the very near future when I will have to quit wearing high heels. Damn it, I love them so. When I first arrived, Richie came up and hugged me and said I looked powerful. I was wearing my gold pencil skirt I bought for $1 in the op shop, my underbust corset and my white shirt with ruffles, with my crazy big poppy flower in my hair, all my rings, and yes, I did feel powerful. But my power comes at a hefty price. It intimidates most men, which is both a blessing and a curse, ha ha. Oh, I've got chills, they're multiplying. Tingling, tingling, tingling. Anyway, I like my freedom, my wildness, my power, and my luscious spirit too much to crawl like a dog after a certain man, or any man. The gods might be crazy, but they have always had my back. 10th of November 2018, another day of bowel issues. I hope like hell it's my gallstones causing this, as it has been a week now. At least I'm not having a full-blown gall attack, writhing in agony. I am thankful for small mercies, but sick of epic shit, really. I had a lovely snooze in the hammock with my Harvey. Harvey's my best friend Jared's dog. He's passed over too now. Charlie played in not Jared, the dog, Harvey. No pointing the bone. Charlie played in the tree and Bobo quietly gnawed on his bone. I woke up feeling blissfully happy, listening to the tinkling fountain, the air warm and sweet, and the quiet sunshine enveloping us. This is wonderful. My body has purged and supercharged herself, and now I am recovering and resting, but I am delighted with the peace and beauty around me. It started to get cooler, so I came inside and am back in my bed with Harvey and Bobo and a good book. Last year I fought a long 6-month battle with my teeth, TMJ joint and nerve pain. This year it's been gallstones and stomach issues. I can't imagine being well again, but I rejoice in my small snatches of happiness amidst the corporal dross. I guess I can at least be grateful that I can still dance, dream, delight myself with good things and good people. And my cousin Heather wrote, I know that you can't sunbathe much in Australia, but vitamin D could help you. 15 minutes daily gives you enough. Otherwise, a good quality D3 supplement. Kiss. And I replied, I already take vitamin D as I was depleted. 2 a day for 3 months, then I reduced to 1 a day. My liver is not processing the vitamin D I get from the sun. So you are quite correct, my lovely cousin. Kiss. And Heather replied, my informant advises you really can't overdose on it either. Most people are not aware that it is not a vitamin, but a hormone. And I was reminded by Dr. John Campbell on his YouTube channel to take vitamin D. So I did implement it back in 2020, I believe. But it still didn't prevent me getting the last variant of COVID. But I didn't catch COVID for 4 years, so maybe it did help keep my immune system boosted. Harvey is awake, which means he needs to pee. If I don't take him right away, he screams in a high-pitched, eerie as fuck howl and pees on the floor somewhere. But he has been a very good dog. We have had epic snuggles and enjoyed each other's company. I was gone for 7 hours last night and he only peed a little bit in the kitchen. Bobo and Harvey are getting along well. I am staying home tonight as Harvey is acting a bit demented. We slept most of the day, but Mama T needs to rest anyway. Did I read that out earlier? No. 10th of November 2012, when the zombie revivified herself by dancing each weekend. Yeah, I have read that bit out before. Hoping against hope to find a love partner out there. Ha 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 ha. Whatever. On the bus home, I had a great night dancing. Interesting highlight of my night was this tiny short guy, not a dwarf, but a jockey, was dancing with me and my tiny petite friend Carmen. He kept touching her and she kept telling him not to. So I very gallantly and unladylikely told him to quit or I'd flip him over my shoulder. Stupidly, he said he would like to see that. So I fireman hoisted him off his feet, 2 feet off the ground, and had there been enough room, I would have flipped the aggressive little dweeb as well. Lol. And I was wearing very high-heeled boots that night too. He was surprisingly light for a male jockey. He then proceeded to hassle my friend some more. Not a quick learner, so I told him, "Are we going to have a problem?" He finally backed off as I was about to get security to throw him out. It was either that or I was going to completely go berserk, so I can contain myself. Needless to say, after my display of womanly strength, I did not get bothered by any other men tonight, and after last week's bollocks and the week before that, it suited me just fine. I will be back tomorrow night for one of the women's birthday bash. Update November 10, 2018. Ha ha. Think I saw that creep back at the casino last week. He gave me a weird stare. So I just blankly stared back. Funny, as if I ever forget flipping a dude. 1:20 a.m. Home from ecstatic dance and the casino. Exhausted but content. 10th of November 2017. And here's my boy. He looks like a teddy bear. He used to look like a teddy bear sometimes. There he is. All curled up on the couch. Monsieur Le Beau. The best beau Mama T ever had. And the most loyal and faithful. Aww. Sophie just clawed my shoulder as I tried to get her down off the top cupboard as she was up there knocking stuff down. What a day. Bleeding and shitful. Somebody bring me a bottle of JD, some stodgy food, and someone to cuddle, lol. Okay, I can get the first 2 items. Watching Hotel Beau Séjour about a ghost. Very good. It's raining. What a strange day. Showers, sunshine, then rain. Job done. Yay. Now if I feel like it, I can A, shit again in my freshly unblocked drain, and B, go out and find more food for future sublime shittiness. That's in response to the fact, but peach on my teeth the whole time. Oh dear goddess. Oh well. Now you know why I'm single. Fuck's sake. Seriously, Tanya. On YouTube for all the world to see. You know how to make a complete dick of yourself. Yay, the plumber is here. He's handsome too. I am avoiding him and the horrid job he has fixing my bog. Embarrassing. And my darling friend Kellyanne wrote, ha ha ha, sickum Rex. And I replied, I'm a lady, you know. Just discovered the sewage drain from my toilet is leaking sewage. It often did for 16 years. It was terrible what I had to put up with. Great, not. I have rung housing maintenance and a plumber is coming out in 4 hours. What a dreadful day. I wanted to go out and buy some food, but now stuck waiting for a plumber. Guess I will have to order pizza. Not sure I should eat anything after today's ickiness. Inundated with flies due to Beauregard's bone and my broken screen mesh. On my back door. My house is like a house of death and carnage. I will have to go out and buy a new fly screener. I had showered and dressed. and planned on going shopping anyway, then became unwell, so that was the end of that. I don't know whether to crawl back into bed or run screaming out of my house. Might save that for tonight if my tummy settles down. So annoying. Sudden change in the weather. Red sky in the morning. Sailor's warning. I knew that sunrise was too good to be true. Poor Charlie is wet from the rain. I've brought him back inside. This is when I thought Charlie was a boy, right? Because Charlie laid an egg in December 2021, I think was the first egg. And it's how we discovered, royal we, discovered she's a girl. Anyway, I brought him back inside, just as well he had fun in the tree yesterday. And then I posted, still feeling unwell, and I only took it for a few days and have been off it for 4 to 5 days. Really upset my tummy, plus sleeplessness and anxiety. Grr. So sick of being sick. Oh well, at least my TMJ joint is no longer hurting. Just have to ride out the apocalyptic withdrawal symptoms from the pain meds now. And then I posted a photo of all the side effects of endone, which, when you read it, is really confronting. Look at that. Body aches, loose bowel motions, diarrhea, goose flesh or goosebumps, loss of appetite, nervousness, restlessness, runny nose, sneezing, shivering, stomach cramps, nausea, trouble with sleeping, increase in sweating and yawning, weakness, fast heart rate, unexplained fever. Tell your doctor if you notice anything else that is making you unwell. Jeez Louise. Anyway, I wrote to Kellyanne. I have had the sneezing, chills, diarrhea, nervousness, body aches, goosebumps, restlessness, weakness, trouble sleeping, and included with that constant need to pee. So dunno, Kellyanne, but been a bit hammered. She thought that I shouldn't have withdrawal symptoms, but I had them all. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. And my beautiful friend who happens to be a shaman in America, Sheila Snow, posted a meme that says, "Good morning, beautiful people. Sometimes you just need to hear, I'm sorry I misled you into having genuine hope. I'm sorry I sold you a dream I wasn't committed to fulfilling. I'm sorry you were hurt deeply. I'm sorry I made you weep. I'm sorry I stole your peace. I'm sorry I filled you with doubt. I'm sorry I left you alone. I'm sorry I betrayed you. I'm sorry I broke your trust. I'm sorry I broke your heart." And I replied, I would vastly prefer to hear this from the guilty parties, but some are dead and will never apologise, and others are still living in their bastard cowardice that made them so vicious and cruel. So there's no point waiting for a sorry that's never going to come, and if it does, it's disingenuous anyway. That was another hard lesson I had to learn. 4:22 a.m. Weird night. I went to bed at around midnight. I got up at 1:19 a.m. to pee. Between 2 and 3 a.m. I did not look at my iPhone for the time. I was semi-awake with insomnia now for 4 consecutive nights. I felt a strong presence holding me down in the bed, in brackets, sleep paralysis. It felt like a big, dark, shadowy thing, more like an energy that was building around my shoulders. It started to intensify, and I started to get a bit scared and panicky. So I said the Shema, but that seemed to not deter the energy. So I grew more panicky and just said out loud, "Get to hell." I felt the energy gently release me like a smoky haze on a hot day. Felt it just drift off or sort of dissipate. I breathed with relief but thought, that was a strange sensation, as by then I knew I was not dreaming but fully awake. I'm self-conscious now. I just feel like my teeth look funny now. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just a reflection of the laptop. Wow, and all this time I've been freaking out. I lay for a few minutes, calming down and thinking, oh well, I am warm in my doona. Perhaps I felt trapped in the feather doona, but as I am struggling these many nights with temperature regulation, hot, cold, in and out of the doona, I realised that I had shut most of my doona off to cool my body down. I didn't know what to do, so I just went back to sleep, woke up again to pee. Annoying, as I am rather exhausted. Now watching a lovely dark pink sunrise. The backyard is bathed in a rosé light. I let Bobo back in from his early morning pee. He wanted to bring the manky bone in the house, so I had trouble getting him in, minus the rotting bone. Now I'm going to attempt more sleep. And my beautiful cousin Megan said, you tell him, cousin. Best place for those evil spirits is hell, and they can leave you the fuck alone. I always try the Lord's Prayer, and if that doesn't work, away. My Phillips's rises, and I tell him to fuck off. You write so eloquently. Must be that Irish gift of the gab, and maybe even the kraut, lol. Kiss naught. And Kellyanne wrote, sleep paralysis is a common side effect of NDEP. After I stopped taking it, the sleep paralysis and weird nightmares that kept going after I came into consciousness from sleep finally became less frequent and then stopped. 10th of November 2016, romantic evening for the Tanya. Alone, of course. And here we are. Oh, I could do with a nice glass of wine, actually. I haven't had wine in ages. Wine gets me drunk, people. I only need 2 glasses and I'm silly as a wheel. That's why I drink Jack Daniels. I can drink quite a bit of Jack Daniels before I get tiddly. And it fires up my spirits, my internal spirits, without me getting drunk. So I maintain control, right, over my own body, mind and spirit. I've been lying outside by candlelight in my hammock, reading a book by Amy Tan, The Valley of Amazement. I am now standing in my kitchen, itchy and sweaty. Wine, food. I might just spray with Aerogard and get back out there. Get food later. It was lovely, and my house is so damn hot. And there's my, where is it? My Tootsies. Can you see? And the lid at the end of my hammock. Dripping in sweat, I cleaned the filter in the bigger pond. Too hot, but the fish will thank me. I might go find a nice air-conditioned shopping centre now. And then later I made a comment. America, the Muppet Show. I was probably watching the news, right? 10th of November 2014. Crystal has my car, so I'm watching French films on SBS On Demand, drinking Jack Daniels and thinking life ain't so bad. Not so bad at all. There is always room for improvement, but just for tonight, contentment. 4:26 a.m. Have had to bring in my morning chanteur. To his great dismay, my neighbours are sure to complain. His crowing is now quite loud and exuberant. He was not drowned out by laughing kookaburras this morning, so I can't blame other birds for being noisier. I still miss that little rooster though, that little mischief. He was a sweet, loving little soul. 10th of November 2011. I slept until 2 p.m, then got up, cranked up live, real loud, fed my fish, had toasted sandwiches and chocolate for breakfast, and was feeling content in my garden when Gail and Tully arrived. We had several cups of tea, then went to Macca's. Now home again, pondering my existential angst. You know you have problems when even your angst doesn't keep you entertained anymore. Move over, Woody Allen. Hanging on for better times, plenty of money if I manifest it without the festy men, and loads more fun like I've been experiencing. Yippee-yi-yo! I was trying to remember what fun I was having at that time in 2011. Was that when I went to the... Yes, I'd started going to the clubhouse, and I did have lots of fun playing pool with the VP's missus, and she was a pool shark, and I even bet her at one game. She was gobsmacked the night I bet her at a game of pool. She was an excellent pool champion. 10th of November 2010. It's a blue moon, and can we please have the real Tanya back? Unimaginably true, because I'm so bloody blue. But I finally, gasp of surprise and disbelief, cleaned half a house. Yeah, half the house, but that is major progress. I can get into my linen closet, but the floors still need mopping, and only half the vacuuming is done. P.S. I'm so bored. Housework is so boring and not something I would usually brag about. But these are desperate times. Good thing about having a clean house will mean for once I won't feel guilty for avoiding all my responsibilities and plutzing in a vague, fairy-like way in my garden. Well, my name does mean Queen of the Fairies. Oi! Someone has had high hopes for me. I'm also named for Napoleon's mistress, Desiree. My sister insisted on me being named this as a baby. Now I think about it, she was being passive-aggressive, because I've been treated like a mistress, concubine, or woman unworthy of true love and respect all my fucking life. The family curse continues. Your turn, next generation. Zzz. I'm hoping that the fucking buck stopped dead in his tracks, but I gotta put his evil kids who are perpetuating the misery in their place first. Then I will be done and dusted, but hopefully not out. And that refers to the wool dispute after my mother died. 10th of November 2009. Oh, yes, that's a repeat. I've read that earlier about the mammalian purging and wanting to come back as a mutant virus. And now I have a mutant virus somehow attached somehow into my body integrity. that came true, didn't it? So be careful what you ask for with your precognitions and your presciences, people. I didn't ask for it. I wasn't really hoping that that would manifest the way it did, but oh, Val. Magic happens. I have seriously been spoilt in the last 24 hours. A lovely meal and lovely company this evening. The universe is sharing her unlimited abundance with me, and I am delighting in it. Sigh of happiness. And update 2021. Unlimited abundance. Ha! Cast back to earth to live through an actual apocalypse and more constant struggles. But I am equipped for this. Lived in poverty for decades. Survived my own familial monsters and their henchmen. Survived broken, cruel, sadistic love affairs. Survived even my own suicide attempt. What the actual fuck for? Only to have poorer health outcomes and now living in the COVID epoch as well. But I have had a few lovely days this week. Happy days in spite of the horror that is permeating our planet like pus. I am alive only as a kind of Orwellian, triumphant defiance, and the capricious, whimsical gods send me moments of genuine kindness and bliss. I enjoyed seeing my neighbours' children look so happy today. They were delightful. They had just had an ice cream at Baskin Robbins. 10th of November 2008. I'm fretting for Bella, who is fighting for her life at the vets tonight. Paralysis tick. So, that concludes my reading of the 10th of November 2008. And so I've got to play catch up. What do we need to do still? 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. So I'll probably play catch up again tomorrow if I don't feel too exhausted after today's efforts. And yeah, I'm actually pleased. I can hear a bit of a rasp when I breathe in, but my breathing's been quite a bit better today. I was very ill yesterday. I was really quite ill, really quite unwell. But I'm able to breathe reasonably deeply, at least down to here. So that's an improvement, quite an improvement. So baby steps, people, baby steps. Hopefully I'm on the mend, and by Friday I'll be well enough to dance my triumphant shamanic dance with the beautiful alter egos who I'm looking forward to seeing again. All being well, me being well, and them being well, and the multiverses being well. And life is wonderful, people. And I'm grateful and happy and satiated with the beautiful pizza I had. And I think I'll check on my yogurt that I made. Oh, should we do that together before I go? It's I fermented it. I was going to ferment it 24 hours, which is till 10:30 tonight, but it's 9 p.m. So it's close enough. I think it will have fermented enough. Here we go. Just put this down. I'm excited. My first homemade yogurt. Like, I've made homemade yogurt with the Easy Yo. Oh, there goes the lid. But let's have a look. I hope it's worked. Oh, taking it out, people. I'm taking it out of the container. And let's have a look at that. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe I have to, like, pour off the whey. Yeah, there's a little bit of whey. I'm not sure if I should freeze the whey or what I should do with the whey. Whey, wah, wee, wah is nice. All right, I'll pour off the whey because I think you've got to put it in the fridge too to stop it from continuously fermenting. So anyway, here you can't see it very well. Let's bring it under the light. What do you think? Oh,